collated first. And also in the coalition, the presidential votes will be collated first and then the parliamentary second. What I was trying to seek, and they closed the meeting prematurely, was whether they were going to use any other indelible ink other than what we know. Because from the grapevine, we had heard that they were trying to use some pen markers. It was confirmed to me here in this hall that yes, they were trying to use the pen markers, but they decided to go for the original indelible ink that we know, that we all dip our fingers in. That is refreshing. There was another issue that I was going to raise. I raised it with them immediately after the meeting. That is per their own memo in October. They were asking the regional directors to empty the ballot boxes that were used in 2023 for the district level elections. When they asked, in that memo, they said they should keep certain items for reuse. There was no problem with the items listed, except for one. That is a validating stamp. Because a validating stamp cannot be naked before the elections. The only time a validating stamp must be naked should be the morning of that election. So you unwrap it in the morning. Otherwise, unscrupulous people who are printing ballot papers, and some people are printing ballot papers, and we are monitoring, who are printing ballot papers, if they know the identities of these validating stamps, will just go and replicate them, stamp them ahead of time, and use them, bring them into staff and ballot papers, and will create confusion. Fortunately, they've given the assurance here that that aspect of their own memo, they are not going to stick to it, and that they are using fresh validating stamps. So on the side of the validating stamp, they've given the assurance that they are not going to reuse. On the side of the indelible ink, they've also given the assurance that it's not going to be any pen marker, but it's going to be all the one that we know, where you dip your finger. I also raised the issue about the media issue. Because we should have a definite solution. We have 7 days to go. If you know what happens in media houses prepare. Media houses may even want to send people from the headquarters, Accra, to go and assist certain districts, certain constituencies. If they are not clear in their minds at this stage, when they are supposed to be giving the green light, and whether they will even be giving the green light, and what will be the threshold, how are they preparing? So if you woke up and it's on Thursday that you are being told that, oh, you can cover, how are the media houses, the media owners going to budget for all these things? We raised it and they said, well, they will get back to the media in due course. We hope it will be very, very soon. There is also a variant of observers, that is civil society organization observers. Some of them, very credible ones, have been denied the opportunity to observe this election. So you begin to interrogate.
Which are they?
What is in the mind? What is in the mind of the Electoral Commission? That you do not even want unfettered access for the media when it comes to coalition. And then some credible civil society organizations that also apply. You do not also want to allow them. And when I heard it, they said, oh, there's a committee that is dealing with it. They are the best to respond. They are looking at the experience. And I said, some of these civil society organizations have monitored elections at least for more than a decade. So, experience, they have it. All we are saying is that we want free, fair, transparent elections. Civil society, media are critical partners. And the success of this election must be anchored also in the work of the media and civil society organizations. They should let the civil society organizations and the media houses have effective access. And there are ways to do these things. Yeah, the issue of the coalition officers.
Are you going to work with them?
Like we kept on insisting, they should just give them the right names. They should just call them assistants to the returning officers at the constituency level. And they solve the problem. I don't know why this EC likes going for the complicated solutions. You are appointing someone to assist the returning officer. Per the law, the returning officer is responsible for collation, assembling the results. Why do you want to call this person the collation officer? And if conflict ensues at the constituency collation center, who is going to deal with it at that particular time? We believe that with the sunshine that we have put on this issue, their very orientation for the people that they are appointing will make it very clear to them that they are working under the returning officers, and whatever they do must be subsumed under the authority of the returning officers.
Which means whatever it goes, you still work with them.
That means that so long as they are working according to the CI 127 and subjecting the outcome of their work to the scrutiny of the returning officers, it means that it is the returning officer that is in charge of collation at the collation center. And we are working with the returning officer. Okay. That is one. Two, regarding the civil society organizations, there are several of them. Even General Keno's civil society organization is one of them. We've been monitoring elections for decades. Okay, there's another very prominent one. I don't know whether I have the permission to name them. The name starts with C. You may want to find out.
You would want to just point them out to us,
very, very
so
prominent.
that maybe we feel
very, very
to the
prominent.
EC.
But you just get in touch with the civil society fraternity and find out from them how many of them have been denied. That will not be difficult at all for you to list officers. They are not ready with some of the most important things that must be done. Why don't they have the Excel formula that they are going to use? And they are going to get back to us on that. They are always ill prepared for the most important things. Sad for our democracy. But that is what we have. The Constitution says that this electoral commission must organize the elections. We will continue to put them on their toes and ensure that they do the right thing. But we will demand the Excel formula so that there is uniformity across the country. That one we will not compromise. We shall demand the Excel formula that they are going to use so that there will be uniformity across the country. You know why? In 2020, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission came to inform us about changing denominators, if you recall. So we need to get the exact formula they are using. And once we have that formula, it solves one of the many problems.
In all fairness, how would you rate the Electoral Commission's preparedness for the election?
3.7 over 10.
Why that low?
We are here. 7 days to an election. Some constituencies in the Volta region. They are now going to reprint their ballots. We are here. We do not even know the full complement of the officers who are going to be in charge of the elections. In the 40,648 polling stations, we don't know. You understand? We asked them and they said some may change because they are still working on it.
When are they supposed to give you that?
They should have done that 10 days to the election or earlier. That was their mistake. They took that as it should be 10 days to the time if you listen to them. But they could have done it 30 days before, 60 days before. Who stopped them from doing that? You wait, and then 10 days to the time, you release it. And you heard them. They are still training.
In case you discover some people who are politically tainted,
what
do you hope to do in the last hour?
We have discovered some. Gaboso is one example, and Honorable Kabra Minta Kano has already submitted. So you can imagine what is going to happen.
Almost 2 weeks, the AC hasn't done anything about it. You are still not raising any objection.
On our part, we have even secured the MPP delegates list, which we are comparing across the country. So you can imagine what is going to happen. Because remember, in the Ejiso by-election, there were some MPP polling station officials who were parading themselves as electoral officers during that by-election. It tells you how ill-prepared the Electoral Commission is.
What would you do if you find more of those people?
The same way that we are submitting, we will go ahead and submit. And the EC will have no other option but to replace.
Thank you.